Welcome all to our Ability Cricket webinar. As all our webinars, this is sponsored by Whale Hydrate. So thanks for them for all their work that they're doing for us and allowing us to get these webinars on. Joining us today, obviously, is myself, Patrick Ward. I'm the lead for the Ability Cricket in Essex. I've been in my role for 10 years now, since 2010 when our Ability programme started. And we've also got on here Bradley Donovan, who's our Development Officer. He's been in post since 2017. He's been involved with the project as a participant since we started back in 2010. We're joined with Mark Welby. Mark Welby is a coach for the county side. He's been a coach since 2012. He's also a parent to one of our county players, Alex. So he's going to talk a little bit about his involvement as a coach, but also as a parent. And we're also joined by Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie has also been in the programme since it started, way back in 2010. He's worked his way all the way up, played for Essex, and also played for the England Learning Disability team. So we're going to hear a bit about Ronnie and his experience as well. Okay, if we can move on to slide 2, Dan. Okay, so our Ability Cricket programme, I said, has been running since 2010. We're seen as probably one of the leading counties across the country for ability cricket. We work very closely with the ECB as well as other partners such as the Lord Taverners. We have a full comprehensive programme which runs through a full development pathway. We start with our entry-level programme, which covers Super Ones and table cricket. This moves into a club setup, which we'll hear a little bit about later on. This also then goes into a county programme, and then we feed people into the national programme. If we can move on to slide 3. So I'm just going to introduce Bradley. Bradley's going to talk about our Super Ones programme, how it runs, how it started, everything from there. I won't steal too much of Bradley's thunder. I'll just pass on to him now. So Brad, do you want to bring yourself into the meeting?
Yeah. Hello everyone. As Patrick said, I'm Bradley Donovan. I've been a part of Essex for about 10 years as a player and as a player, participant, and now a disability development officer. And today, what I'm going to do for you today, I'm going to go and explain what we do with our Super Ones programme. So our Super Ones programme, the Super Ones programme first started in 2012. It was off the back of the Olympic and Paralympic legacy. So they wanted to try to create a not a disability cricket, but a disability programme on the back of the Olympic legacy. This was firstly called the Lord Taverners Disability Cricket Championship, which is now called Super Ones back in 2012. And since then, the programme has grown. As I said, it was firstly in London. Since then, it has grown nationwide. And now at Essex, we have 3 hubs in the London area. So we have the 3 hubs in Barking, Redbridge, and Newham. And what every hub in the Super Ones, not just our hubs, what we try and do, we try and create a community vibe with the chance for them to play cricket. So it's not just for the people to play cricket. We try to get them to do life skills and help create them maybe to go on to the next step, because with the Super Ones programme, it's for young people with a disability aged between 12 and 25. So it is probably a crucial time, not only for anyone, but for the people with disabilities. So we also help them to find their next step, whether that might be cricket, it might even be life skills. So we create these community hubs, as I said, in Newham, Redbridge, and Barking, and it's not all about the cricket, it's about the life skills as well. For example, we have the one at the Newham hub that has been going since the first in 2012. This has been probably one of our most successful hubs throughout the 8 years. We're getting nice regular participants between 12 and 20. which is good, and they thoroughly enjoy playing cricket on their weekly sessions on a Wednesday, but they just love to come and join and make friends as well. Also, with the Super Ones, there is also opportunities for competitions. So with our three hubs that we have in Barking, Dagenham, Newham and Redbridge, we have like a three competitions a year in our we're under the East London group, so we have three competitions at UL, and then they have a chance if they do that to go and play at Lords, which is which is really good because as we all know, Lords is one of the best places to play cricket, and when you've got people with disabilities, and it gives them sometimes, which is good. Along with that, as I said, we do life skills. So one of these life skills, we might do a sports leaders course, and with the help of Sports Leaders UK, along with the Lord Taverners, we try and help the young participants by providing them with a sports league course level one. So maybe when they're doing their weekly hub sessions, they can they can um, they can help the coach and then help their own help their own participants to help through the session because it also helps them maybe later on in life when they leave the program. So it will help it on their CV as well. So that is a little bit about the Super Ones program in a nutshell. As I said, we already have three hubs in London, East London, sorry. So we have one in Barking, Dagenham, Newham and Redbridge. We did secure some funding to do in rural Essex. So we secured in Chelmsford, Brentwood and Colchester. So it's Colchester, Chelmsford and Southend. Sorry, I said Brentwood again. So we are looking to do three in rural Essex. Now, as you probably know, it's been an awkward time of year for everyone. So we are still looking to expand the program into Essex. Um, but it's been put on hold slightly. But we are now looking into when we can start the new three hubs up. So if anyone's in that area, so that's Colchester, Southend, and Chelmsford, and wants to get involved and wants to know a bit more about the program, please let us know, and we get in touch. I think my contact details will be at the end of this webinar, so please feel free to let me know. Thank you.
Lovely, thanks, Brad. Yeah, just to point out, our contact details will appear on the last slide. I should have said at the start as well, we've got Phil Nappick doing the questions on here for us. So if you have got a question, please put it in the chat box, and Phil will come to it when we've got time at the end. Okay, so Super Ones really covers our entry level. We're very proud to be one of the founding members of it, working alongside Lord Taverners. Above Super Ones, we feed into our club network. And Bradley, as well as leading on Super Ones, also runs one of our more successful clubs at Harold Woods. We've got Harold Woods, Springfield and Saffron Walden clubs running at the moment. And Harold Wood and Springfield have been running pretty much since the start. They're very successful. They produce a lot of players going forward. So Brad's just going to talk a little bit about Harold Wood and the work he does there. Over to you, Brad.
Thanks, Pat. Yeah, thank you. As Pat said, I help out at the Harold Wood Warriors Disability section. That section has been going for over 10 years now. It was originally set up with the help from the Change Foundation, which was a charity who were helping to get young disability clubs get more into disability sport. So that was held over 10 years ago with Change Foundation, and it has been going to strength throughout the 10 years or so. So what we do, as I said with the Super Ones, is a little level up. So we might do a bit more cricket-related skills. So it's a bit more about a club vibe where you come on. We do it on a Friday night, we train like any other team, and don't get me wrong, we still do the life skills, but it's a bit more of an intense and a bit more of a cricket training club. But what we also do with the young people at our club, we also encourage them to either help with the coaching maybe. We've had a few come through our system and have been some coaches. We've also been through, we've also had some of our guys play for the Essex disability side. So we've had about 8 or 9 come through and play either for Super Nines or the D40 team. And possibly someone on this webinar has also played for Hull at some point. So, but we here get onto that in a second. But yeah, as I say, we take all kinds of disabilities from physical to learning, so whether it's autism or something like that. And as like Little Kevin, it's 12 to 25, but with the Hellwood stuff, we take adults as well, so it's feasible. We take from about 10 to adults. So we've got a number of coaches and volunteers that help out at the club. So if you feel like you want to join or contact one of us and we get involved. And as I said, we do cater for all disabilities. So it is a really good vibe, and the club, I have to say, the club are really supportive in getting the warriors, as we call ourselves, into the club. So the club's been really positive about supporting them as well. And who knows, we also help them get into adult cricket or, as I said, Essex with either the Super 9 side or the D40 team.
Lovely, thanks, Brad. Hopefully that gives an overview of how the club setup works. As I said, we have 3 clubs running successfully at the moment. We've also got a hub based at Basildon as well, which links into our county sides. Our model we've used for probably 8 or 9 years in terms of getting players into the club setup. In 2020, the ECB have launched what they call a Disability Club Champions. So it's very similar to the scheme in which we've been running already, but it gives the clubs the opportunity to apply direct to the ECB for funding to set up a disability club. Their club will become a disability champion. So they can apply to the ECB, they can get a kit bag, you can get some seed funding as well to help set you up. And this will also then bring you into our club network. So these clubs all take part in competitions. We run 2 indoor and 3 outdoor competitions featuring these clubs. It gives the players a chance to play at a flexible format. There's no strict guidelines. We work it as and when needed, depending on who's available on the day, depending on the facilities. But you can apply to the ECB to get some funding. The link for this will also be on the last slide, so it gives you a chance to have a look. But if you have got any questions, then either pop in the chat box or come and speak to me and Brad direct on another time, and we talk you through the ECB Club Champions scheme. At the moment, they are taking applications, but as far as I know, the person reviewing the applications is on furlough, so they won't be going forward, but that will probably change in the next couple of weeks. They'll come back and then start to be able to progress them. So from our club setup, we then move into our county setup. And we have 3 county teams running at the moment, mix of what we call our Super 9s, our development and our D40. We're very lucky in Essex to have a real good pool of coaches, and we've got 7 coaches who help out with these teams, all give up their time to make sure these teams work. We've currently got 35 players in our county setup, and our teams have been champions for the last 3 years. So Super 9s were champions in 2017 and 18, and last year the D40 team became national champions as well. So I'm going to introduce now to Mark Welby, who's, as I said earlier, has been coaching with us since 2010. So 2012, he's going to talk through the programme and give you a bit of an oversight into the county game. So over to you, Mark.
Thanks a lot, Pat. Yeah, I think it's, I mean, Bradley's touched on the fact of how far the programme has moved on in the last decade, from very sort of humble beginnings in terms of where it is today. I feel very fortunate to work with some very good cricketers coming through the system from sort of the Super Nines all the way through incredible into the hardball game. And I think the amazing thing is it's such a mixture of abilities in terms of both age, experience. You have club cricketers who are just making their way in the club game at local level, who obviously are looking to challenge themselves a little bit further coming through the Essex programme. But also you have guys joining the programme who have been in the local game for most probably a decade and more, wanting to explore other avenues to develop their game. So as a coach, I find it's really an interesting challenge in terms of how much the guys want to be pushed. There's, I suppose the cliche is that people with disability don't need to be pushed. They're there to enjoy themselves and to develop at a certain pace. But I think the very interesting thing over the years that I've learned is that the guys really want to be challenged in all aspects of the game. And that's both, you know, physically, mentally, tactically, and how they actually perform on the pitch. They're very, very interested in getting a lot of feedback on how they're performing, how the team's doing, and then taking that into the county setup. I mean, it's a great county championship at all levels, super competitive. And you know, the level that Essex are now performing at is challenging nationally, and you know, very lucky to win the championship last year. But it's an ongoing process of younger players coming through, older players being able to offer their experience to the younger players coming through. And I think that's the amazing thing about the group of players, is that they're very, very embracing in terms of allowing new guys through the system, welcoming them into whatever level within the hardball squads they're playing, and really sort of nurturing themselves through into sort of club situations, into on-field situations. And it's great sort of seeing the journey that, say, Ronnie Jackson has been on, from, you know, a young player joining the system, coming through and obviously excelling at quite a high level. And I think that's the great thing about where disability cricket is right now, is that it's not, the pinnacle isn't just playing, say, county level. There is a very strong pathway through from club, through into the county setup, and then into England Lions and up to a full performance squad level. I'm very, very fortunate that I've experienced both the county setup and the England Lions setup. And in terms of the level of coaching and input that the ECB invest at those levels is quite incredible in terms of the level of coach, ex-professionals, first-class players, level 4 coaches, all giving their experience and helping the guys to develop not only as cricketers, but as Bradley says, as people. And especially when we go away, say, for an England Lions camp, and obviously with Ronnie going to performance England level camps, you're away from home for a full weekend, and it does help the team to bond as people and as players. It does develop a lot of personal skills, which again filters back into, you know, the system, back into the way that they are on the field. And I think the great thing is it then tumbles back through to the county level. There's a lot of things that you know, people like Ronnie bring back from England camps and England tours and England matches back into the county system, which can be, is a great benefit to all of the players who can learn a lot from those type of players. So for myself, I find it a very, very interesting challenge. I'm challenged as a coach to help develop ability players. Every player is unique in terms of, you know, the standard that they want to play and where they want to go with their game. And it's up to us as coaches to work with those players. And obviously with Pat and the coaching team, you know, we do invest a lot of time, you know, thinking about how we can help individual players to really maximise their potential. And I think that, you know, that investment of time away from coaching sessions and is brought back into coaching sessions has really benefited a lot of guys coming through the system. So from my own perspective, I find it a very interesting and open door for all players at all levels to enter into, in effect, a different form of club cricket. And As I say, the game's moved on so much since I first got involved, where I remember talking to Pat that we were trying to get a lot of the players club matches because clubs weren't necessarily embracing of disability cricketers. But today we find that all of our players are playing regular club cricket and enjoying that at that level. Clubs are helping those guys to develop their game, which in turn helps to then bring through a very, very strong base of players into the county setup.
Lovely, thanks, Mark. Yeah, it's interesting, as you say, to see how far the team's progressed. I think a lot of the work behind that has got to go down to the coaches. So once again, thanks to all the coaches for the time they give up. Mark mentioned the pathway into the England setup, and we're quite lucky that over time we've had 6 players now progress from our Essex setup to England. One of them I'm going to bring in now, so I'm going to bring in Ronnie Jackson. As we've said, Ronnie's been involved with the programme all the way through. I think he's just got interrupted at the wrong moment. I'll just keep talking for a sec. If we can move on to the next slide, Dan, as well, just to give some images of Ronnie. I'm going to introduce Ronnie. So if you want to unmute yourself, Ronnie, if you think the coast is clear. Ronnie, you might have to just unmute yourself a sec. We can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I'm Ronnie Jackson. I'm an Essex disability player and also an England learning disability player. And my pathway is basically I've been here since the start of disability, county disability cricket. So when I used to go to a special needs school called Corbett Stay, and a charity called Cricket for Change used to do sessions every Friday during the summer there. And I used to join in with all the older kids and stuff like that, playing cricket. I used to love playing cricket even back when I was 9. And one day they invited me to join Gidea Park and Romford disability cricket team. So obviously I went, used to do sessions there again every Friday, 7 to 8. I used to play with loads of cricketers like Bradley, for example. And then from then on, that the coaches, they used to also coach for Essex at the time, which then I met Pat through there, joined the Essex team. Back then, it was an interesting experience for sure, because we used to travel around the whole country playing against loads of different teams, like the Isle of Wight, Devon, and places like that, which me as a young kid and with all these disability players as well was a new experience. It was quite incredible, really, how much progress we made as well. Because at the start, most of us didn't really play a lot of cricket and we were kind of new to it. And then as the years go on, we started to work harder and harder. Obviously, getting more and more good coaches coming in, and we started to be really competitive, which shows how well Essex, as a county, as all works really hard with disability players like me. And then through the Essex setup, obviously playing for Harold Wood as well, because then switched over, which was probably made disability cricket a lot stronger as well, because brought in more and more players. I had a England coach that came to one of our training sessions one day, and he picked 3 of the players from Essex to join the England setup. Obviously, I was one of them. Matt Cowdery was another person, and Dan Thomas. And all 3 of us eventually got into the last 15 of the England squad to go to Australia in 2015. Back then, there wasn't any lines, so it used to be a trial to get into the England team. And if you got in, you got into the squad type thing. But nowadays, we'll see this Lions team, which is really another great setup by the ECB to ease new county players who just joined the England setup into the main squad and stuff. Anyway, so we all went to tour in 2015 and to Australia, and that's the one good thing about playing for England disability is it's not only just about the cricket and stuff like that, but it's also about experiencing what it's like to travel around the world type of thing. Like I played like cricket in Australia, in Holland, places like that, like, which is like quite an incredible experience. And yeah, and also socially as well, it's helped me a lot as a player as well, because I'll say I'm quite confident now in talking to people, when back then, when I was like younger in special needs school, I I would be quite shy talking to like people. And now after all these like cricket experiences and stuff like that, it's helped me like grow like confidence personal, but also like quite respectful and what people have done for me and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a good journey with disability cricket, and I'm sure it's getting better and better as the years go on. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ronnie. Really useful to hear some of your thoughts. It's also worth pointing out, how old are you now, Ronnie? You're only 20, 21?
Yeah, 21. So
21, so you've still got a lot of time ahead of you. A lot of chance to make a name for yourself.
Exactly. I know I've been playing for 10 years now, but I'm only just starting to learn more and more new things. So, and what was amazing the most is how professional like we are as players in Essex. Because when I first started playing for Essex, we were all just, most of the players were just there to like, you know, just like enjoy the game. It doesn't matter if we lost by like, we've got thrashed by like the other team. We all had a really good time, which obviously that's the main thing. But now we're all still really having a good time, but we're also willing to win games, willing to like improve each and every time, and that's what I've noticed the most really. It shows because more and more Essex players are getting noticed by England, and it shows how good the setup has been, and now we're county champions because of it. So yeah,
lovely, brilliant. Thanks, Ronnie.
No worries.
Going to go back to Mark again. Mark's just going to give his view as a parent. As I said earlier, Mark's son Alex has been with the side for a long time, which is how we managed to get Mark involved with the coaching as well. So back over to you again, Mark. If we click the next slide along.
Okay, thanks, Pat. Experience as a parent. Our journey started with spotting a small ad on the Hearts and Essex cricket website, sort of disability cricket, South Loughton, rainy Sunday afternoon, come along if you fancy it. And that's where we sort of met people like Ronnie for the first time. It was, the pathway for Alex, my son, who is, he's autistic and has learning difficulties. I think he sort of maybe had the stereotypical experience of wanting to play cricket, but finding somewhere to actually play cricket was the major hurdle for Alex. For my sins, I played club cricket for years and years and years, and unfortunately, a lot of clubs will most probably have, say 2 or 3 league sides. With no real space to maybe accommodate players with, say, special needs, or which I don't know if that's a fair thing to say, but that was our experience at the time. So, for myself, it was trying to access cricket for Alex, and thankfully, Cricket for Change, linking into Essex, was the pathway that we stumbled across. Since then, it's been quite incredible, really, in terms of I think we've all sort of established how far the setup has come with Essex and the progress it's made from its early start, and that's a common experience across all counties, well, quite a few counties. Similarly with clubs, I find that today it's not unknown that within, say, league cricket, the league cricket that we play, we will come across and play with or against other disability players, and I think it's credit to a lot of clubs now that there isn't this kind of, barrier or hurdle for ability players to participate at club level. And for Alex, it's been this mix of finding the right club, which thankfully we found a very welcoming club, quite local to us, and he's developed through that. And similarly, through the Essex setup, he's been very, very fortunate to progress through the system. It's obviously improved his cricket. Obviously that's down to the coaches. Well done, Pat. And it's one of those things that he has gained confidence of having a skill set that he can take out on a cricket pitch in club cricket and deliver those skills and compete and not feel different to the rest of the players on the pitch, which is a huge thing for Alex. And with Alex coming through the Essex system, he's progressed to England Lions, and again the experiences that he's, which again Ronnie's touched on, where you go away for a weekend into a training camp situation. It really does develop you as a person. What we find with a lot of say players with say learning difficulties, autism, on that spectrum, they are a little bit shy, usually a little bit reserved, and the interesting thing is that for Alex it's been a huge character building exercise for him. He's learned a lot of life skills and really just the basic skills of being able to develop relationships with other people, accept change. Change is a very difficult thing for guys with learning difficulties, and being able to be parachuted into different scenarios, different squads of people around them, has really brought him on as a person. So, I can only thank Essex Cricket for Change for helping Alex to progress as a person. And hopefully, with obviously the situation we're in at the moment, and obviously we're acutely aware of funding and all of those sorts of things. Hopefully, the ECB in particular will be able to help these programs through this difficult time, and hopefully that pathway will be there, for the years to come, because it's hugely benefiting for not only cricketers on the pitch but cricketers off the pitch, and it develops them as people.
Lovely. Thanks, Mark. That's really, really useful to hear. And if we can just click onto the final slide, I'm going to bring Phil in just to see whether any questions popping up, Phil, in your chat box.
Yeah, we've got three short questions. First one for Bradley, and that's what do you consider your greatest success since joining the Essex development team?
Probably one of my greatest successes is probably creating the 3 Super 1 hubs. Yes, the new hub was already set up as a hub, but that also needed some work to do to it. So for me, creating 3 Super 1 hubs for them to then enjoy their cricket and have a bit of competition, which is also good, because it's also, as we touched on before, it's also helped our pathway as the Essex cricket as well.
Right. Thanks, Brad. Second question is for Ronnie, and the question is, how have you used your level 2 coaching qualification to work with younger players coming through the system?
Yeah, well, funny enough, I do coaching with Rainham Cricket Club. I'm an under-13s manager, so I've been doing, obviously through lockdown, I've been doing, I've had 6 players at a time, coaching them every Sunday. And also I've been doing coaching with Bentley Cricket Club as well. I've been helping them out with Graham, with one of our other coaches, Graham Davis. Been helping them doing sessions at Bentley Cricket Club as well. So I love coaching, and so basically I've been coaching a lot.
Brilliant. That's really good to hear, Ronnie. A question to Mark. Have you got any examples from your coaching that have made significant differences to players, either tactical, technical, whatever?
That's a big question. I'd like to say, sort of a general answer to a specific question is most probably the biggest difference that we've noticed over the last few years is cricketing ability, both tactically, mentally, and skills based. There's been the progression in the level of fitness of the guys. So at Essex, we've put a big emphasis on developing fitness not only during sessions, but giving the guys targets going away from sessions to improve fitness levels and bring that back into the sessions so that they're performing at a higher level for a longer period of time. So as coaches, you know, if we're say running, say, a 4-hour session, we're not sort of tailing off halfway through the session and performances are going down. We find that the guys now are really on it from, you know, warm up through to the last ball. And so for us as coaches, the input that we give the players through a period of time at one of our sessions, we find very rewarding, because the guys are still in a position to take those comments on board and, you know, try and execute those new suggestions and skills.
Great, thanks. Great answer, Mark. Final question goes to Pat, and it goes out to all those people who are listening live or who will listen to it through social media later. What could you ask for other people who are listening and are interested in? What could they do to further increase the participation of ability cricket throughout the county?
I think one of the things we found, certainly in terms of our club base, is to have the right person there. The first point of contact is very vital. I'm sure Bradley and probably Ronnie would say the reason they got involved was the people they were involved with, mainly through Cricket for Change at the time, but who embraced them, got them involved. The reason our clubs have been successful, such as Harold Wood and Springfield, have been the personnel there. So we've got Ken at Springfield, who is great, he's very welcoming. All the kids there love him and the parents find him very easy to talk to. And then at Harold Wood, we've got Bradley and his dad Keith running the sides there. I think it's having that person. It just needs an individual to step forward and say, I'll be the person, I'll be the one who welcomes them at the door, makes them feel welcome and open. And then it's up to the rest of the club really to be opening and acceptable, and just see them as another individual. Don't see them as someone with a disability. Don't feel that you've got to change your sessions. Just integrate them into the club setup and keep it as normal as possible.
Brilliant. Thanks, Pat. That concludes all the questions. Thanks, guys. Really interesting.
Thanks, Phil. Okay, so that's the end of our presentation. Just like to say thank you to Ronnie, Bradley and Mark for their time today. Thanks to Dan and Phil for behind the scenes work as well. Hopefully it's given you an insight into our plans. It's talking you through our programs. So our programs really start at entry level with the Super Ones program that Bradley runs. We also run table cricket. We then move into our club setup. So we've got our clubs at Harold Wood and Springfield, Saffron Walden. And then hopefully the new club champion scheme will develop these clubs further. We then move into our county setup, which you've heard about from Mark, and then the international setup, where Mark is involved with as a coach and Ronnie is involved with as a player. So if any of these things seem something that people want us to do, contact us. Our contact details are on this slide. The link for the club champions is on here as well. Apply direct to the ECB. Those applications will come to us as well, so we see them and we make note of them, so we'll be aware of any clubs that are applying to the ECB so that we know they're coming in. But at any time, if you've got any questions, feel free to drop us a line. Me and Bradley are available. We're based at the county ground, so once we get back into the office, we're available there as well. Thank you to everyone for joining in. That pretty much concludes us for today. So thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and hope to see you all soon.